Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. Happy Friday to you, one and all. If you're watching us live here on the Wrestling Rumors Facebook page, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. If you're listening to the show after the fact or watching after the fact, man, did you miss a fun time? I mean, I assume so. I hope this is going to be a good show. I very rarely ever come away from the show thinking, man, that sucked. So anyway, hope you guys are ready to talk about some wrestling or wrestling, depending on what part of the country you're from. And yeah, man, so we've had a big week, lots to talk about today. Again, happy Friday to you, one and all. As you can see, I've got bedding behind me on the futon, and somewhere behind me is the pet, the DOG. He's like directly behind me, so you can't see him. He's the guest star of the show today. Let's get some hellos in this morning. Shane, what's going on? Brad, Minnesota, go Vikes. Rebecca, how are you? Carlos Martinez, hope you're doing well, my friend. Keith, what's going on? Oh, Lord Keith, never call me Tommy again. Brother, I quit being Tommy with the day I entered high school. Trust me when I tell you that. Jason, what's going on, man? Hey, cool. Thanks for watching on the YouTube, man. Wrestling Rumors YouTube channel doesn't get a whole lot of love, not as much as the Facebook page. So, yeah, man, any traffic we can get over there is much appreciated. What's up, Dennis in New Brunswick, Canada? What's up, my friend? Sandy, as always, in Germany. Yes, sir, Elvis. Main event time it is. I was thinking I could page down, but I can't. What's up, Jamel in Vegas? Jim, what's going on? Lauren Way, what's up? Hello, Jason. Again, Jason. What's up, Phil? Keith, it's all right, man. No worries. Yes, sir. The DOG is the star of the show. What's up, Bit? I'm trying to. I got all these comments coming on. Alex Lee Ryan in England. Holy God, are we friends on the Facebook? Alex, if you don't know, I'm going to inform you right now. Tom is a sucker for distance. So basically, if you watch my show, listen to my show from another country, you and I need to be friends on the Facebook. I'm all about the international communication. I tried to dress it up, and it didn't come out the way I planned it. So, yeah, man, we've already got some comments on Animal. So, what's up, Cameron? And where are you? There you are, Cameron in Winnipeg. What's going on? Hello, Alan. Hello, Stefan. What's going on, my friend? Elvis, sorry to hear about your family, man. All the best to you and yours. What's up, Brendan? What's going on? Bit, he is a mix between a lab and a rat terrier. He's a lab terrier. I don't know. He's a ratador. I don't know. So, all right, man. Yeah, we've already got people chiming in about the biggest topic of the week. Let's get down to it. The untimely passing of Road Warrior Animal, 60 years old. We don't yet know the cause of death. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never really been all that concerned over cause of death. I don't get too wrapped up in that kind of stuff. And as a writer, I've had to report before. There was, I think, last year when we had a string of deaths in a row, and it seemed like I had to report on 3 or 4 deaths in the same day, and that sucked. The cause of death thing is always, to me, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's beside the point, but maybe it is. The fact that we lost somebody at all. And dude, 60 is not old. For all you 20-somethings listening and watching today, trust me, my friend, 60 is not old, okay? When you're a kid, it seems like it's a lifetime away. It's really not, because as you get older, you see that 60 is just, yeah, man, it's right around the corner, if I'm being honest with you. So, yeah. Animal had an established relationship with Chris Featherstone. And Chris is a fellow comrade here at Wrestling Rumors, a fellow peer in the pro wrestling writing business. And Chris is very upset by the loss, obviously. And again, folks, all the best to Animal, or excuse me, all the best to Animal's family, Joe Laurinaitis, actually. And To those of you who are too young to know who the Road Warriors are, and you've only seen them in playbacks, like in on the WWE Network, let me tell you something. There was no tag team on the planet over as much as the Road Warriors at any given time. They were the hottest team in the world, and that is the truth. No matter what promotion, NWA, WWF, New Japan, All Japan, Mexico, Canada, doesn't matter. They're the most over team in the world, and every promotion that could afford them brought them in and gave them the tag belts because the LOD drew tons of money. Okay, and long before they were just the Legion of Doom with the red spikes. In WWF, they were Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, and they would bum rush the ring, bum rush their opponents. The bell would ring halfway during the beatdown. Black Sabbath's Iron Man wouldn't even be finished, and they were already getting the pin and getting the win. And that's the Road Warriors that I know. That's the Road Warriors I grew up watching, and that's the Road Warriors that I will always choose to remember. I don't remember the puppet. I don't remember all that hoo-ha nonsense. That's not the Road Warriors that I know and love, honestly. Paul Ellering, precious Paul Ellering, great fit for them. He was a manager in every sense of the word. I can't start this show today without paying respect to Hawk, to Animal, and to Hawk as well. Hawk's been gone for a while. But Animal, the other half of the Road Warriors, again, and dude, I've been asked a lot of times over the years, Tom, who's the best tag team of all time? My answer is always the same, the Road Warriors, because they made the most money. That's it. I mean, and they, there's been great tag teams in the past. And I listened to a podcast yesterday where the guy was like eulogizing Animal. Then halfway through the thing was making light of his contributions and not giving them the amount of credit, not giving the Road Warriors the amount of credit they deserve. I'm like, why even talk about the guy if you're going to be dismissive of what they did for the industry? Not the best pro wrestlers that you've ever seen. That's the truth. But, they came along at the right time in the right company. In Jim Crockett Promotions. They were propped up. They were made to look great. And they did learn how to work. Hawk got good. I mean, Animal got good. And they were, they could do enough to work their style of match. If you couldn't work their style of match, you kind of got lost. But you're crazy if you didn't work the Road Warriors style of match. Because, man, if you were booked on the card with them, number one, you're probably going to get beat up that night, but number two, you're probably going to be in for pretty good payday, especially if you're in a main event. You know what I mean? So they drew houses all over the world. Wherever they went, the Road Warriors were it. And again, best team of all time, man. Best team of all time because they made the most money, because of their image, because of their influence. How many teams came after them and tried to mimic them and tried to repeat what they saw with Hawk and Animal? And it didn't work. It never worked 100%. And we saw it all the time. So, let's see. Jamil says, Arn and Tully. Well, to each his own. What's up, Chris in Baltimore? And of course, every time we think of Road Warriors is a scaffold match. Yeah, same here. Same here. I mean, it was the most dangerous match you've ever seen. They made a ton of money that night with Jim Cornette. And, Jim Cornette getting his knees blown out, right? It's infamous. And the scaffold match was highly unnecessary. But, you put something that big and that dangerous and that, that big, like sort of heavy metal and danger and it's life-threatening, that kind of thing. That's the Road Warriors, man. It's kind of who they were. So I think it fit them. The work they did with the Midnight Express was phenomenal. So Jason says, greatest Survivor Series team ever assembled. Road Warriors, Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado. Well, there you go. Animals Ray, RIP Animal, live from the dentist office. That's cool, man. Thanks for listening. Robbie says Demolition was a bad copy of the Road Warriors. I completely agree with that. Brad says teams are still trying and nothing, not even close. No. And I heard, again, same podcast. I'm not going to put them over. No disrespect, but I'm just not going to do it. But the same podcast I listened to yesterday, the guy's like, well, this is not hard. It's easy to make the Road Warriors. I mean, all you got to do is book two big guys as unstoppable and let them win and go over all the time and crush everyone. Yeah, but they're not going to be Hawk and Animal. It's different. That's like saying we can make the Nature Boy Ric Flair again. No, you can't. Do you know what I mean? That's like saying we can make Goldberg again. They tried with Ryback. Remember? It didn't work. No disrespect to Ryback. That dude blocked me years ago on Twitter. I don't even know what I said to him or said about him that he didn't like. What's up, Christopher? What's going on, man? Larry says Demolition owes their entire run to the Road Warriors. Absolutely. We knew what it was. Vince couldn't get Hawk and Animal at the time, so he made Hawk and Animal, or at least he attempted to. So, as we said, folks, yes, much love to Joe Laurinaitis' family, and to all his friends, family, and fans. Again, deepest condolences for the passing of one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. Let's go from some pretty sad news, very sad news, to a train wreck of a storyline. Last week, I put up the banner that said, "Retribution, please make it stop." Well, they didn't. In fact, it got worse. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Holy God, it got worse. So they got like T-Bar and Slapjack and Flapjack and and Susie Q, and I'm just making stuff up. Rebar. Raw was a dumpster fire. 2 words, hot garbage, okay? Retribution is one of the worst things. I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I grew up during the territory era, and I saw some pretty rough stuff in my time. This is by far one of the worst things I've ever seen. And here's the funny part, is we all knew it. All you guys knew it, okay? And if any of you are watching or listening today or after the fact or whatever, and you think I'm wrong, go with God, I suppose, because God's the only one who can help you then. But if you are a diehard WWE fan, I'm talking about lifer, I'm talking about Vince walks on water, he's the king of all time, then you probably love this stuff. I mean, I don't know what more to say to you. I don't know what more to say to you. It's all right. But for the rest of us, yikes. Yikes. So, Chad says, how many times is WWE going to try the invasion angle? Evidently, one more time. Great question, Chad. They're so hung up on that. They're as hung up on that as they are the heel GM, the heel authority figure on TV. Please, God, don't let that come next. Are you up there? Are you up there, God? It's me. Yeah. Sorry. Just, I don't know where I was going with that. Listen, man. I have said this multiple times in the past. If you guys have ever watched or listened or both or what have you, you know where I'm coming down from. I'm going to repeat it again in case anyone's ever missed my opinion on this from day one. Are you ready? Get closer to the mic, baby. Get closer to your speaker. It's important. WWE is going to do whatever Vince wants it to do. It's his company. He has the last call. He doesn't care what you think. He's never cared what you think. He hasn't cared what you think since a whole bunch of you, including myself, were chanting 316 when Steve Austin was a nobody. It's the last time he really cared. What? Am I wrong? It got awful quiet all of a sudden. No one wants to talk. No one wants to tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, baby. He doesn't care about you. He only wants your money. And he wants to tell you what you like. He wants to tell you what works. He doesn't care about your opinion. He doesn't care that you think it's crap. He does not care. Not today. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. As the kids say, fight me. Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong. Ugh. There. Jim says, aren't they doing the heel GM with Adam Pearce? But Adam Pearce is not a GM. He's not been announced. But yeah, Jim, to your point, they have to put authority figures on TV. And listen, I'm not going to sit here, Tom's crapping on WWE. I'm such a WWE fan. I bleed WWE. Look, you don't have to watch. Neither do I. It doesn't matter. It's never mattered to them. Yeah, they want ratings. They do. Their ratings are at an all-time low. And people say, well, Tom, COVID. You're right. You're totally right. But look at what NXT and AEW are doing. Right? Now look at what Raw and SmackDown are doing. Yikes. Okay? And we'll talk about that later. Trust me. It does matter to them. It obviously matters to them. It will always matter to them about ratings. Anyone that tells you that ratings don't matter is fooling themselves. And I've got some of my peers believe that ratings are are crap. It's not true. But all I'm telling you is they think they know how to pull this out of the dumpster because Vince tells them that he knows. The truth is he doesn't. I'm not the voice of the voiceless, Ray. I am merely the analyst of the analysis. I don't know. That's CM Punk, baby, voice of the voiceless. So, yeah, it's crap. It's crap. It's just I can't listen. If anyone disagrees with me, please, by all means. I'm not hard to get along with, man. Shannon says there was a time when I did not miss an episode of Raw, but now that's reserved for Wednesday night Dynamite. Haven't watched Raw in about 6 months. You're not missing a thing, Shannon. And Shannon, I'm with you. The other day I was thinking about this stuff, and it occurred to me that there was never a Monday night that I missed. I was always in front of Raw, in front of the TV with my laptop, because I always wrote a column every Monday night. And if it wasn't a Raw results column, it was a column, spinning out of an event that happened on Raw. And I would be messaging my editor and saying, I got a headline. What do you think? He's like, go. And then I would have it written by the time the show went off the air, maybe by 12, give or take, right? Have it published or set to publish on Tuesday mornings. But I watched every Monday night religiously. And it wasn't about, I'm such a WWE fan. It's amazing. That's not it. It's just part of my gig, part of my job. I couldn't take a writing position now with the website. If part of that position was you're going to cover Monday Night Raw, I'd be like, no, I'm out. I'm not interested. Thank you. I'll cover anything else except Impact. Impact's hard to watch. I'll cover anything else other than that. But yeah, I'm with you. It used to be must-see TV. Carlos is right. Stephanie sold 1 million shares of WWE. I don't know how much I would read into that, but yeah, it's the truth. They've all done that recently. Why are bringing out the WWE producer on the story? Because honestly, Alex, they are enamored and infatuated with the heel authority figure in that company. They always have and always will be. I don't know why. That's just how it is. I wish I had a great answer for you. Here's my one and true answer. It's 2 words, starts with a V, ends with an M, and there's a K in the middle. You can figure that out, right? So, yeah, we won't spend any more time on this. Let's get to another headline this week. This one kind of came, I don't want to say out of the blue. Finn Balor will defend at the next NXT TakeOver, the NXT Championship, against Kyle O'Reilly. Splitting the Undisputed Era up, as it were. Kyle O'Reilly, of everyone in that faction, is going to be a babyface. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I can say it makes sense. I mean, the last babyface to join the UE was Messiah the Backbreaker, Roderick Strong. And we kind of thought, well, maybe he'll be the guy. No, he's not. It's Kyle O'Reilly, evidently. So it's different. So what do you guys think about O'Reilly versus Balor? Are you up for this? Do you care about it? O'Reilly's an excellent worker. He and Balor are going to have a great match. I have no doubt in my mind they're going to have a great match. My only question is, what have they done to make me care about this? Am I fully invested, or am I going to watch just because it's going to be a great wrestling match? What do you guys think about that? Christopher says, I see a betrayal with UE. Yeah, it could be. Could be, man. Adam Cole's been incommunicado, hasn't he, since losing that night? Jamel says it will be a great match. I completely agree with you, my friend. It will be. Jason says, I honestly don't care for either guy, so I could do without the match. I love Finn. Finn is so underrated. For anybody out there who believes that Finn doesn't have what it takes, you're fooling yourself. Trust me when I tell you that. Yes, Finn can definitely put him over, Chris, 100%. Shannon says, Cole can't be completely happy at Raleigh has a championship match. Yeah, you would think that would come to light, but Adam's babying out. That match he had, after the fact, he's putting over Finn on the mic, shook his hand and whatnot. Like, this is Adam Cole, baby. Where's Ray at? So, yeah, man, it's different. I mean, so apparently 2 heels, 2 faces in the Undisputed Era. I mean, if you're going to keep two heels, I mean, it would have to be Fish and then Strong, right? I love Bobby Fish, by the way. I talk about another underrated guy for sure. Jim says the match would be great. It's a hot shot of this main title match on a pay-per-view is a head scratcher. I agree with you. Bit says it'll be a great match, but I think Finn will be the winner. 100% agree. Rebecca says, think it will be good. Oh. Hold on, it's the boy. He's out. He's downstairs, actually. My bad. All right, so my bad. Excuse me. Where were we? Shane says Balor versus O'Reilly be a great match on ROH, but as WWE do not expect much. No, I disagree, Shane. I think if they're given enough time, they'll be able to. Plus, this is NXT. This is not WWE main roster. It's different. They're not going to be held to like 6 minutes and told to hurry up. Do you know what I mean? I think they'll be fine, and I think they'll have a banger of a match. Jason said, "Well, you know me, I could care less about that because I don't care for small guys." Well, to each his own. Like I said, man. Like I said, to each his own. I think pro wrestling is better with the variety. I think it's better as a variety show, in all honesty. I don't think it should be all 300-pounders. Just like I don't think it should be all cruiserweights. I think there should be a mix. I don't think an all-female show, sure, I can get down with that. But I say as long as the women have an adequate amount of time, again, it's a mixed bag. Tag between tag team, heavyweight, super heavyweight, cruiserweight, lightweight, women, 6-man tag, triple threat. Have a nice mixed bag of talent and match types and all that good stuff. I'm down with that, man. So let's see. Ray says Kyle Raleigh is going to put on a great match, just not as good as the King of Adam. I'd say I knew you'd chime in. No, I've not watched United Wrestling. It's NWA, MLW, and CCW. No, I've not. Victor, I'll check that out, man. I know MLW is recording shows in the empty arena right now. Is that what they're doing? Is they're doing something? I thought they were doing something independent themselves, or independent, I should say. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's jump to an AEW topic now. The return of Cody. Cody came back on this past episode of AEW Dynamite. We knew it was only a matter of time before he came back. Apparently, the issues between him and Mr. Brody Lee and the Dark Order are far from over. He came in and pretty much attacked the Dark Order and wanted to get his hands on Brody, but Brody got out of there quick and didn't even have like a typical WWE stare down from like 40, 100 feet away, whatever it was. You know what I mean? He got out of there quick. I wrote a column late last night and basically putting over this feud and the whole idea of it, because I love the idea of it, because everything Cody touches comes out great and turns to gold, because Cody's an old school pro wrestling guy, which I highly respect, always have, always will. And, he's taken this, he is his father's son. And how many times do we see the American Dream get outnumbered, get outclassed sometimes, and just be overwhelmed by the opposition? And then he ended up coming out as the winner in the end because he never backed down. He never ran from a fight. He did his best work with his back against the wall, which is what I put in the column. Cody's very much his father's son. And I think that we'll see that. I like the return of the black hair. That's pretty cool. The blonde hair is cool because he looks so much like Dusty as a young man. If you've never seen Dusty as a young guy, go back and look at those photos and put it up next to Cody. It looks like he's identical. I mean, he looks a lot like Dustin, but I'm telling you, man, he really does look a lot like Cody. So I'm interested to see what happens next. I'm okay if they're continuing the feud, and I like that they're portraying Brody to be this unstoppable guy, and that he's squashing everybody he gets in the ring with. They don't do that enough. They, meaning the pro wrestling companies in general. You need to have dominant big men. To the point made earlier about, not liking small guys. Part of the allure, part of the draw of the big man in wrestling is that big man is dominant, that he is on top of his game, that he is unstoppable. I mean, I can get with that all day long. Sean, what's up? Says, I really appreciate Cody Rhodes and what he does for the business. Do you think he'll ever match up to Dusty? No, he's not living off of any surname. Cody's making his own contributions, and I think Dusty would have told him that. I'm sure he did. Go out there and make your own indentation. Go out there and make your own impact, and he's doing it. I don't think Cody's living off his father's name at all. Number one, he's not allowed to use the last name Rhodes because of WWE, and they suck. Sorry, they do. Dusty Rhodes was Dusty Rhodes long before he ever got to WWE, baby, and that's the truth. So That part of it I hate, but no, I don't believe Cody's living off of any name at all. I think Cody is his own man, and I think he's carving out his own legacy. I mean, just imagine writing Cody's bio right now today. I mean, you'll open with he was the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, right? But that might be the only time you have to mention it. That you actually need to mention it, because look at all he's done in the short amount of time that he's been, not only in WWE, but out of WWE. So, yeah. Orange Cassidy says had a great match with Mr. Brody Lee. It was good. I don't know if I would say it's great, but that's just my point of view. What's up, Cherie in sunny California? This is Tom in rainy, cloudy Carolina. So I hate you for your weather. I'm kidding. So James says Cody has made his own path. I completely agree with that sentiment. Jason asks what my take is on Rich Holland. I got to see more. That's my take. I got to see more. Dustin Rhodes made a Western movie at his own sale at Walmart. I didn't know that. I might have to check that out. Did I know that? Seemed like I knew he was trying to get into acting at one time. Robbie says Brody Lee is getting used in AEW compared to over the years with WWE, as Luke Harper just started strong, then eventually faded from the spotlight. That's Vince for you. Well, there again, when you're told we don't have anything for you, that kind of thing, it sucks, but that's reality of WWE. And almost every talent, not all of them, but almost every talent that has left that company to go to another company has the same story to tell. They're basically told, we don't have any, we can't really come up with something. We don't have anything, this is not working. And meanwhile, that talent's got all these ideas and they're probably not getting listened to, and it gets really weird. And it's like, all right, what am I supposed to do? Stay here and be unhappy and make a ton of money, or go somewhere else, make a fraction of the money, but have input and be happy in my life? What would you rather have? Would you rather have the payday and be miserable? Or would you rather have enough money to live, to support your family, and be happy with what you're doing? I'll take the latter. Sorry, just me. Timothy says Jericho versus Isaiah next week on 8 and 8. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm not completely sold on that match yet, but we'll see what goes on. Toby says, I guarantee Dusty is proud of both of his boys. I would have to say you're probably right on that. For sure. Sean says, just want to say you really brighten my day with your chats. It's great with all. Hey, thanks, Sean. Sean, keep it PG with the language, pal. Hey, man, I appreciate what you said, though, dude. Thank you a lot for that. By the way, the main events downloads are doing really well. But, man, if you guys have not checked out my other podcasts, I got like 4 of them. The 6M, it's called Tom Clark 6M Podcast. We talk about movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. Yes, sir. It involves a whole lot of topics falling under that big umbrella of the 6M. Man, the downloads for that show have jumped in the month of September. It is unreal. I've almost doubled the downloads for main event in September. I appreciate all of you guys out there and gals listening and downloading the show, man. I very much appreciate it. Today, as soon as I sign off of the show here on Wrestling Rumors, you can go over to my Facebook page or Tom Clark 6M Podcast Facebook page. I'm going to reveal episode 7 topic, which is going to drop next Tuesday. New episodes drop every Tuesday. And just like the main event, the show's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and the YouTube. So there you go. Don't miss it. Thank you again so much for listening and checking it out. Carlos says they should have waited longer for Orange Cassidy to face Brody Lee. Love to see him win a title. And he will eventually. He will eventually. Cody, Larry says Cody is also member of the Arrowverse. Yes. Yes, sir. I love it. And I love Stephen Amell. But I'm a comic book guy too. Okay. And I love the CW for sure. The match with Sheeta, the upcoming match. Well, let me just tell you. I like Sheeta. Don't misunderstand me here. I like her. If I told you I loved her, I'd be lying. I want to love her, and I think she's very good. I can't say that she's hooked me yet like Io Shirai has. Io Shirai has definitely hooked me. And Sheeta's very good. Please don't take this wrong. But I don't know. I'm waiting for that moment where I go, oh, my God, did you see that? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't want to be too hard on her. I like her image. I like the way she looks. I like the way she carries herself. She's very, like I said, she's very good in the ring. So I'm a fan of all of that stuff. But again, if I told you she's my favorite women's wrestler, I don't know if I can say that right now. We'll see what goes on. And again, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to give it enough time. Timothy says, what's your take? Best friends versus FTR. So it's going to be interesting to see because they're eventually going to have to go head to head, right? I'm not the biggest best friends fan. I like Beretta. Trent. I think Trent's fantastic. Chuck Taylor, nah. Together, I liked him a lot. If Chuck Taylor were a singles wrestler, I don't think he'd be, in my opinion, he wouldn't be spotlighted in my company. That's no disrespect, man. I don't know what he brings to the table other than he's just a guy. I know that sounds harsh. I don't mean it to, man, but that's just sort of where I'm coming down from. Now, with Beretta, I think they're fine. As a threesome with Orange Cassidy, they get attention and they draw a crowd and people get into it. The best friends thing and all that stuff, and it's entertaining. And here's the boy. What's wrong?
I'm trying to get a gallon out of it right now.
Quit.
What?
Leave it alone.
What?
Leave it alone. What'd I tell you?
I'm trying to get a gallon.
Got a brand new refrigerator today, folks, and we're trying to get the water line fixed on it because it's a little screwed up. Shannon says, best friends starting to grow on me a little. I think that's how I would describe it for sure. Jamel says, can't wait for a 20-minute brush with greatness. Stop messing with the dog. Quit. Just quit. Wesley, quit, son. All right, folks, let's talk about ratings. Let's do that now. This week's SmackDown, down from last week. Last week was 2.329 million. This week, 1.954 million. Raw, down. Or actually, down. Last week was 1.689. This week, 1.67. What's your thoughts? What's your feelings on the ratings? I throw this stuff to you all the time. And for the most part, I get people saying, well, I don't really care about the ratings. It's all good. I completely understand where you're coming from. Don't get too wrapped up or get too bogged down in it, right? But, it's, it is what it is. And like I said before, man, the companies care. They do care about this. And we'll go over the AEW NXT ratings here shortly. So, again, man, do you care about the ratings? What's your thoughts on it? Can you imagine if Raw gets down to like 1.5? Don't think it can't happen. It definitely can happen, and it probably will at some point. It's probably going to get worse before it ever gets better. I don't know if I see them hovering at this number for too very long. Rebecca says, always informative live show with lots of content. Everyone have hey, Rebecca, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the kind words. You have a safe weekend as well. Timothy, I'm with you. Every Monday Night Raw is the Mysterio family hour. Look, I like Ray. I have no problem with this family, but yeah, it's a bit much. I mean, is this one of the reasons why they talked him into re-signing? Was that they said, look, Ray, if you sign again, we'll bring your whole freaking family into this thing. We'll give them all a job, give them all something to do. They're all going to get paid for this. You know that, right? Ain't nobody going to do it for free, right? Hey, man, it probably is. That's probably what happened because they know had Ray gone to AEW, Ray would have been booked and pushed as a major level superstar because that's what he is. Same in New Japan. I mean, it would have been great to see him in either one of those companies or both or whatever. But WWE, I don't want to say talked him into it, but they put something on the table, brought something to the table to get him to resign. I have to believe his family was a factor for him coming back. Chris, thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate you. Let's see. The Mimosa match was a funny pun. I like what the best friends are doing. I like their work on RH. It's a good match for AEW. Yeah, it's different. It's they do some entertaining stuff. Jim says the third hour is the fifth lowest third hour. Yes, sir. Shannon says with football back, they're going to take a hit, but Raw was a train wreck before the return of football. Long before. No doubt about it. So, yeah, man, let's move on to some happier stuff here. How much of you guys and gals are checking out the G1 Climax 30, New Japan? I am completely caught up. Woohoo! It makes me so happy to be caught up because most of the time when the G1 season hits, I get so far behind. Sometimes I get up to 3 to 4 shows behind, and I have to catch myself up. It helps the shows are not 4 to 5 hours now. You know what I mean? Because the way they're booking this stuff. And that works for me all day. 2.5 hour shows I can knock out in no time. Let's talk about some of this. Night one saw Yuya Uemura defeating Yota Tsuji. That was a Young Lion match. Good match, good opener. Will Ospreay defeated Yujiro Takahashi. This was Ospreay's return to the company. Very, very good match. Ospreay looked fantastic in this match. So yeah, of course, this is the A block. Third match of the night, Tai Chi defeated Jeff Cobb. I wasn't too high on this match, if I'm being honest with you. I've never really been high on Tai Chi. I love Jeff Cobb. Minoru Suzuki defeated Tomohiro Ishii in what I like to call a masterful train wreck. It was orchestrated violence, and it was freaking great. I loved it. If you don't like Ishii versus Suzuki, you don't have a heart in your chest, man, because this match was very much worth the money for sure. Jay White back on in Japan defeated Shingo Takagi. A very good match. I really enjoyed this match. And of course, main event, Kota Ibushi defeated Kazuchika Okada. I can't say that was the best match of the G1 so far, but it's up there for me. It was a really, really good match. Very solid. I like Kota Ibushi as being the down the middle, like middle of the road babyface, and having the fans pull for him, and he claps, and he gets them into it, instead of being that vicious Kota who goes into that trance and he just starts kicking people's heads off. Kota Ibushi continues gets dropped on his head. I don't know why he's okay with that. He says he's all right, but I don't know, dude. I don't know how I feel about that. I know I don't like to see the talent get dropped on their head. I'm not with that at all. Let's see. Night two. This was the B block. Yota Tsuji defeated Gabriel Kidd in a singles match. Good opener. Juice Robinson, again, back in Japan, defeated Yoshihashi. A good match, not a great match, but Yoshihashi's in there. No disrespect. He's not exactly Captain Charisma here, folks. But a well-wrestled match anyway. Toru Yano defeated Sonata. Yeah, they give Yano everything. I love Yano to death. We'll get to that later, right? It's kind of a mess for me. Kenta defeated Hiroki Goto. I enjoyed the match. Ken has been receiving some crap along the way because his matches are, the way he starts his matches. But he's a heel, man. He's a Bullet Club heel. What are you going to do, right? Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Evil. Good match. I enjoyed it. Sabre. ZSJ got the win from out of nowhere. I like that a lot. The main event was an all-time classic. Tetsuya Naito defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi. For my money, a match of the year candidate. No doubt about it, hands down. Naito looked like he was 20-25 again, if I'm being honest. And Tanahashi looked great. Every time you count out the ace of New Japan, every time you count him out or try to, you end up getting fooled. And then he comes back looking better than ever. It was a great match. I can't put it over enough. It was excellent. Night three of the A block, Gabriel Kidd defeated Yuya Uemura. Uemura is getting a ton of work here, kids. Jeff Cobb defeated Shingo Takagi. This was a rough match for me. A lot of different patches. It was awkward. Jeff nearly dropped him a couple of times, at least once that I can recall. It felt like there was no chemistry there, and maybe it was just an off night. That's no disrespect to either guy, because I love Shingo. I freaking love Shingo, and I do love Cobb. So, again, no disrespect, man, for sure. But it didn't have that feeling of epic main event time for me. It felt, again, pretty awkward. Kazuchika Okada defeated Yujiro Takahashi. It was a match. I'm not the biggest Takahashi fan, if I'm being honest with you. I'm like, right? Supposedly Okada's banged up, which is why he's not doing his usual Rainmaker stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. Tai Chi defeated Minoru Suzuki. I wasn't crazy about this match either, if I'm being brutally honest with you. I mean, we know what you know what you're going to get with Suzuki, right? I just wasn't very high on it. Again, not a huge Tai Chi fan. Will Ospreay defeated Tomohiro Ishii. This match was freaking great. Okay, Ishii, and first of all, Ishii could work a broom. And it's a 5-star match because Ishii can work anybody, okay? And Ospreay's freaking fantastic, man. Those guys had a barn burner of a match, dude. And it was I enjoyed this more than I liked Ishii and Suzuki. That's the truth. I thought it was an excellent, excellent match. And the main event, I was very much down with this match. Jay White defeated Kota Ibushi. And let's see, where am I at? I don't want to lose my place here. Yes. Jay White defeated Kota Ibushi. There we are. Yeah, really good match. Jay doing what Jay does, man. I love that guy. He is by far one of the best in the company for sure. And I thoroughly enjoyed this match. He's such a great heel, dude. He's such a great heel. No doubt about it. I really love his work. Let's get to night 4. We'll get back to your comments. Don't nobody split. I'm still here, I promise you. Night 4, B block again. Yota Tsuji defeated Yuya Uemura in the singles match to open the show. Good match. Hiroki Goto defeated Sonata. Another good match. Those guys always pair up well together. Toru Yano defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yikes. Take a moment of silence for Tanahashi. My God in heaven. Look, I hardly ever question Gato's booking. Gato books a year out, as any of you New Japan guys and gals out there know. I try not to question Gato because he hardly ever lets me down. But yikes, what are we thinking putting Yano over Hiroshi at this point? I don't get it, man. Tana should have won this match, hands down. I love Yano, but man, I didn't see this coming, and I wasn't very happy with the end, if I'm being honest with you. Juice Robinson defeated Kenta, a very good match. I was happy with it all the way around. I thought they paired up well together. Evil defeated Yoshihashi. It was kind of there for me. I like Evil a lot. I don't know if he's found his stride as a main event heel, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know if he has a stride as main event heel. I don't dislike his work, but I don't know if I'm feeling it right now. The main event was freaking epic. Tetsuya Naito defeated Zack Sabre Jr. What a match this was, dude. It was so freaking fun. Naito wrestled Sabre's style of match. It was slow, it was methodical. It hardly ever went outside the ring. It didn't get to a brawling aspect. Dude, it was very, very fun. Very fun. James says, I have one question. What did you think about Sasha response Bailey? I know that I have yet talked about Sasha Bailey. Thanks, James. The feud between these two ladies should have happened a year ago. People are high on it. To me, Sasha still comes off as a heel. I can't really get behind her as a babyface. They've really given me no reason to. Do you know what I'm saying? I guess my short answer is we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, because I'm not sold on this yet. Toby says just buy New Japan. It's definitely worth it. Toby's right, folks. If you got $10 a month that you can spare, it's $10, kids. Buy New Japan World. You will not regret it. I promise you. The archive of matches they have, the current content, wow. If you are a pro wrestling fan, I highly advise it. It's hard to get your hands on New Japan clips unless you go to YouTube, and most of the time they've skipped around so they don't get hit with copyright strikes and all that stuff. And they'll put music on top of it and they water it down, and you're just getting the highlights of the match. If you want the full matches, you want the full shows, you got to get New Japan World. I get no kickback from NJPW, baby, at all. But I'll tell you this, I fully endorse that app. I fully endorse it. So go out of your way to check it out. So yeah, New Japan World's how to get it. It's how to get it, man. Did I lose anybody covering the G1? Let's see. Jason says, I heard something about WWE finally purchased a piece in Japan. Well, Keith, I'm not sorry, Keith. I'm sorry, man. Jason. Brother, if you're right, good luck to them. New Japan is sewn up, okay? The fans in that country are very, very devoted to their pro wrestling companies, okay? And they've got more than one to go to and to patronize, right? WWE has it in their minds that they are bulletproof. They can go anywhere and do anything and run any show in any country they want to. I disagree. I think it would be extremely hard in Japan for them. But that's me talking. Shane says, what do you think about Miro twisting his ankle on AEW? I thought he was really hurt. Yeah, supposedly he tweaked it, but then he was okay. That match was a train wreck, folks. It was not good. Miro and Sabian together, I think we're starting to see that it's not really a good mix. No offense against either guy. It's just sometimes there's chemistry and sometimes there's not, dude. And I don't think there's a lot of chemistry with these two guys. And honestly, I don't think Miro looked good at all. That's just me. Physically, he looked fantastic. And I would have put him in a singles match. I guess they're saving that. Carlos MLW is on BN Sports. So if you have BN Sports on your dial, whether it's satellite TV or cable TV or whatever, that's what they're on. NWA would be, I think they're running pay-per-views. I don't know how much their pay-per-views are. Chad, we covered Cody coming back. It was pretty cool. Glad to see him back. So, yeah, I'm for it. I love Cody, man. I do. Yeah, the American Nightmare, Brennan says. Love the new Cody look. Yeah, he's done it before, but yeah, for sure. He's changing it up. Let's talk for a second about the Ring of Honor Pure Tournament. If you guys have not checked it out, you really need to. Night one saw Jay Lethal defeat Dalton Castle and Jonathan Gresham defeat Wheeler Yuta. round one, also September 19th. This was a week later. David Finlay defeated Rocky Romero, and Matt Sydal defeated Delirious. And let me tell you something, man. Again, if you're a pro wrestling fan, you will enjoy Ring of Honor Pure. And it's for the Pure Championship. And there's different rules than there is a pro wrestling match. You're allowed, I think, 3 rope breaks. And it's a different style than a pro wrestling, actual straight up pro wrestling match. And it's very fun. And it's really cool. And again, if you are a pro wrestling fan, this is the tournament for you. And Ring of Honor is one of the companies that you should definitely keep your eye on, because they are back to action. They are back to doing the tournament. And it's pretty cool. They're reintroducing the Pure Championship. So, yeah, again, man, I can't endorse this enough. And again, if you want to check out their action, it's Ring of Honor Honor Club. That's it. Honor Club. It's a streaming service as well. I mean, dude, I drop a lot of money every month on streaming service. Believe me when I tell you that. When you add them all up, but it's cheap. It's Ring of Honor is pretty cheap. So Jason says WB sure knows what to do with Lana. They keep punishing her for that promo they did. I mean, I don't know if they're punishing her or not. And if they are, then she should be man enough, no offense, to speak up and say something. She should speak up and say, what's going on? What did I do? You know what I mean? She's not going to. She's not going to because, people don't want to rock the boat. That's the problem in that company. Most of the talent don't want to rock the boat, man. They just want to collect a paycheck. Ride the pine and collect a paycheck. Shane says, RH's Pure Tournament is great. David Finlay is my pick to win it. I'll buy that. He looks great too, doesn't he? He's best shape of his life, probably. Ray says, how bad is Jay Uso going to lose? He's going to get destroyed, Ray, in my opinion. Is John Moxley mentor to Will Hobb? I don't know about in real life, man. He might be talking to him behind the scenes, giving him some pointers. I don't know that for sure. But I know they're paired up on TV. We'll see what happens. All right, kids, let's talk about ratings as the hour is going by very quickly today. This week, AEW 835,000 versus NXT 696,000. Last week, AEW was 886, NXT 689. So both shows, NXT up just a scoosh, AEW down. Pretty significant number. They're down. 51,000 fans from last week. So, but AEW still getting it done. Dynamite still getting it done over NXT. So there you go, man. There's your ratings for both shows. What show are you enjoying more? Do you have a favorite? What are you thinking about it? Shannon says, love all the interactions between Chris Jericho and MJF. They're very good, aren't they? They're both those guys. Well, you take the 2 best talkers in the company and you tell them to go cut a promo on each other. It's great stuff. I'm in love with it. I love it. I love it all day, man. I love MJF. Always have, always will. He's fantastic. And Jericho's Jericho. He's classic, man. He's a classic, dude. No matter what anybody says, man, he's just great, isn't he? Ray says NXT is my favorite. Guess why? Ray, I don't know. Shane says, how'd you like Jim Ross talking about Rikishi on AEW? I liked it, In AEW, you don't get penalized for talking about other companies. There you go. Brad says it was awesome. I watch it every week. Michael says, I enjoy both. Wish one would change nights. I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. Timothy says, I'm an AEW fan. There you go. Jamel says, I watch AEW and usually watch NXT on Thursday. Honestly, I'm with you. I usually watch AEW live. Carlos says, did anyone see the AEW special that started late after the playoffs? I have to go back and catch that, dude. I have not watched it yet. It's still got a good number. 535,000 fans that night. Pretty good. All right, kids, this is your favorite part of the show. Let's get to it. It's the open floor. So what you got for me, folks? Hit me. In the 10 minutes or so that we have left of the show, what is and are you thinking? No, Ray. AW Dark is not that. Well, I guess if you want to say that, it's like they're developmental guys and gals. I guess you can maybe say that. Timothy says that was a great show on Tuesday night. Cool. I'm going to have to go check it out. Shannon says I watched Dynamite live at NXT later. NXT has been different since going to USA. I could not agree more. But again, Shannon, like we said last week and every week before then, we knew the minute that WWE's main roster people and creative guys got their hands on that brand, it was going to change. We were right. You know, NXT has a lot of great things going for it. Rich Holland's on my TV right now, beating the snot out of somebody. And, I mean, he's fine. You know what I mean? It's whatever. I love Cameron Grimes. He's a Carolina boy. How can you not love Cameron Grimes? And you can't say Cameron Grimes. It has to be, well, tonight's match features Finn Balor versus Cameron Grimes, because you have to say it that way. I love doing that. I love that guy. I'm going to have him on the show eventually. I'll make it happen. Bit says, are you ready for Clash of Champions on Sunday? Nope. Listen, kids. And this is the truth. Me and my kid were there last year. We had fun. I can't say it was the best show I've ever been to, but you know, we were there and we had fun. We enjoyed it. And since we didn't highlight the show, let's run through the card real quick. We got Asuka versus Zelina Vega for the Raw Women's Championship. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Ambulance match for the WWE Championship. Universal titles on the line when Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Bayley defended the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship against Nikki Cross. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus the Riot Squad for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Cesaro and Nakamura versus Lucha House Party. God only knows why. WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Jeff Hardy versus AJ versus Sami Zayn. It's probably the match of the night. Triple threat ladder match for WWE Intercontinental Championship. We got the tag team championships from Raw, Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. Again, for whatever reason, we don't know. And Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews, single match for the WWE United States Championship. There's your card, kids. How much of you are going to watch the Clash? Oh, champions! I didn't lead with that on the show, and I didn't include it in my notes because I just didn't. But to everyone out there who wanted to talk about it, if you'd like to talk about it, let's talk about it. Adam might be tougher, Ray. The WWE guys are tough for me because the WWE guys they have to clear it with the front office before they appear on anything. Like I interviewed Damian Priest, who was Punishment Martinez when he worked for ROH, but that was set up through ROH's people, and that was pretty cool that I got to talk to him. But now it'd be harder to get him on the horn. Do you know what I mean? Shane says Edge will interfere in the ambulance match. I think you might be right about that. Rematch of Mania, Jim says. Very good, very good. Michael says, I actually think it'll be a decent show. Michael, I hope you're right. I don't want to see the show suck. I don't want to see it fail. You know, we'll see what happens. Toby says, not one match catches my attention. Interesting. So, yeah, man, there you go. Anybody else have anything to say about the Clash? Jamel says, I'll watch, but I hate fake title matches and I don't see any changes. Well, they're all fake. Oh, I see what you're saying, where the opponent has no chance of winning the belt. Is that what you mean? Yeah, I can feel that. Ray says, love the Street Profits. Hope they win. I feel you. I like Street Profits. I think they're overexposed on Raw. I think that's been and you would think that the more Street Profits you can get, the better. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think that they're better in small doses, in my opinion. I think that their act, when done too much and too often, it can start to get a little repetitive. If I'm being straight with you, that's sort of my own point of view. So, Timothy says, only pay-per-view I'm interested in is AEW. There you go. Brennan said triple threat ladder match would be a good one. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Keith says, what match Retribution ruin? All of them. I know what match they'll ruin. Whatever match they get in, they ruin. Okay? It's got nothing to do with the storyline ruining. It's got everything to do with ruining. You guys know. You get it. So, thank you, Bit. You as well, my friend. Well, folks, we're coming up on the hour here. Before we get out of here today, because I got some stuff to do after the show today. Listen, immediately after this show, head on over to my Facebook page or Tom Clark's 6M Podcast Facebook page. We're going to reveal episode number 7 for next week. It's going to drop on Tuesday. New episodes drop every Tuesday. We got the main event on Fridays. We got the 6M Pod on Tuesdays. Tuesday and Friday, baby. Can't beat it. Can't beat it with a stick, Jack. Okay? So, yeah, man, if you have not listened, if you've not subscribed and downloaded the 6M Pod, please do so. It is a free show. The main event's a free show. All you need is an internet connection, baby. Subscribe and download. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music now. We're on Amazon Music for the first time ever. Amazon has rolled out their podcast pages, and, man, we're on there. It's great. All my pods are on there, so please go check it out. And we're also on Spotify and YouTube. So, yeah, man, now's the time. Trust me, I think you will enjoy the 6M. I put a lot of work into it. I recorded last night with another co-host. My second chair is a revolving chair. If any of you out there watching or listening to the show today have interest besides pro wrestling and you'd like to be a co-host on the show, give me a shout, dude. Send me a message. I'm not even making that up. If you're into a particular movie, hey, so-and-so is my favorite comic character, so-and-so is my favorite album, hit me up. Maybe we can come to get on the same page. We can get on the same page, I should say, on on something that we love, and we can do a show about it. I'm down. As long as it falls within the parameters of the 6M, hey, man, let's do it. If any of you guys are serious about it, and listen, be sure you're serious. This is going to sound like a weird request, but if you don't have a voice for podcasting, if you've never tried it before, if you're nervous as can be, if you think you're going to fall to pieces, maybe it's not a good fit for you. But if you're a talker like I am and you can talk about stuff and you know what you're talking about, you got your facts, you're smart about it, dude, I want to hear from you. If you're serious about it, hit me up, man. So there you go. If you guys are serious about it. Now, serious inquiries only, okay? I'll end with that. Well, kids, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, for listening, for downloading, subscribing, the whole nine. Thank you, as always, for always being there. Thanks, as always, for giving me your attention and your time and allowing us to come all up into your screens, okay? Whether it's your TV or your iPad or your smartphone or your whatever and whatever, okay? I appreciate you, as always, and we're going to get out of here. Thanks again.